I hope that you, like any little world of imagination and temporary rejuvenation I overheard on the radio station, of burning buildings, tortured siblings, sinking ships, words of the apocalypse and how the world needs to be fixed. Life forms at a standstill, the mass effects of a small pill. I stood on top of the hill and screamed, I have a solution! Everything continued in a deaf, dull, blind formation, with inaccurate precision from what I could see through the blurred vision. The sound of an incision, immediately followed by a fresh breath of air, leading to the overwhelming brightness of the sun. Funny how something so small and young can know the NWO has begun, stronger forces than ever. You think this could all be resolved through the word usages in your letters and everything you endeavor. My sympathies I send, a helping hand in the form of knowledge I lend. Interesting how informative nature can be. Interesting to see how far I can't see. Yet I see further than most. Question your post, question the host. Before receiving a quieting dose, question everything in its being, especially if there's questionable mean towards the unseen. A vivid dream of what seemed to be an extraterrestrial team, otherwise unable to be depicted. It has been originally inscripted, originally made with 12 strands of DNA, 2 given to those that would stay, possibly evolving to 12 strands, but remains a mystery in history, until those that appear with a motivational curiosity towards this contingency. Sight through a jar, yet I still see afar, as far as my eye can see. Sight through a jar, yet I still see afar. Sight through a jar, yet I still see afar. Sight through a jar, yet I still see afar. Sight through a jar, yet I still see afar.
These new owners who came here 300,000 years ago are the magnificent beings spoken of in your Bible, in the Babylonian and Sumerian tablets, and in texts all over the world. They came to Earth and rearranged the native human species. They rearranged your DNA in order to have you broadcast within a certain limited frequency band whose frequency could feed them and keep them in power. The original human was a magnificent being whose 12 strands of DNA were contributed by a variety of sentient civilizations. When the new owners came in, they worked in their laboratories and created versions of humans with a different DNA, the 2-stranded double helix DNA. The original DNA pattern was left within the human cells, yet it was not functional. It was split apart, unplugged. When you were rearranged, you were left with the double helix. Anything that was unnecessary for survival and that would keep you informed was unplugged, leaving you with only a double helix that would lock you into controllable, operable frequencies.
You've never looked at the heavens. Everything in the heavens is here, moving as the heavens move. This is how to know when. That's what. Suns, moons, stars. Yes, the angle of eternity. That's how I know it's coming. How else can I make the prediction? 1,000 years ago, there was a great conjunction. I was there.
I was bone born in the lone storm. Fog swarms as I meditate above the surface of the ocean, woven in erosion, subconsciously walking through the desert with one eye open, as the other two are blinded through the binding ties of Maya. Mahayana take me through till the achievement of nirvana. I'm now anew. My last life I ventured through the orbit in Nibiru. My footprints were discovered on the surface of Mars, leading to the utopia of Cydonia, where my physical structure disperses into the senseless darkness. I see the light, becoming a terrestrial being with many flaws. A cause of living is simply seeing tomorrow. It's a redo with the visions of deja vu to assist consciousness and possess the knowledge to see past the false information at hand, of travel from the promised land, to combine the visions of the confines of the mind with this reality that has no end. Recognize the ultimate reality and its entity. Life will be the penalty. Traveling within hemoglobin, even delve into the languages spoken. All mystery shall unravel. Travel beyond the heights of Babel into the outer atmosphere. Appear a group of UFOs with projections of light in single file rows. The ignorant remain ignorant till the true omnipotent arrives, as the scribes wrote of the arrival of those from heaven to earth came. Look into the eyes of fate, cremate those that sit in silent wake as they become empty vessels. Stop worrying about superficiality, as reality hits you'll forget about it all. Appalling images are depleting the scrimmages. The geological ridges are changing, along with the entire biosphere rearranging. You never know if it's truth you're reeling in. Beware the reptilian, or should you? They're painted as evil through these false multimedia pictures. Babylonian and Sumerian scriptures are indicating the return. Infinite knowledge is far from becoming learned. Recognize the essence beyond the basic chemical compounds in my urn. Never mind being nonchalant, you need to be concerned. Light emerges through the cracks, pointing towards the visual facts, allowing me to see past the corruption and destruction, an eruption of maniacal, diabolical obstacles. I approach with a philosophical point of view, allowing me a visual preview of a see-through life. This image fades away as I face the ongoing day. They're attempting to delay the thought process and betray the means of two-stranded DNA beings. Is it the beginning or the end of life's function? Behold the presence of the great conjunction.
Now, ask what the Great Conjunction is. What's the Great Conjunction?
What's the Great Conjunction? You tell me.
The Great Conjunction is the end of the world! Oh, the beginning? End, begin, all the same. Big change. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Beyond a time of comprehension, witnessing the ascension of probes into the heavens, village of brethren once reverence, who later became heathens for mystical reasons. Accompanied by the Agigi as the Anunnaki create more human species through engineering and spells. The Agigi rebels, the Anunnaki repels. Is there any grace in this human slave race? Ships traveling through space back and forth from Tiamat to the base of Mars, passing along by the face of inky formed by stars. Why do you rhyme about this? The point is to educate and expose those who try to simulate life. These reptilians that metamorphosize before your eyes don't allow the lies to pass through one ear and out the other. What I discover is uncovered in the land of the buzzard and beyond the nexus of the green galactic blubber, collapsing, resulting in the newborn stars that I place in the cupboard. The words of Anu were never muttered, so why are there misinterpretations as if they were heard stuttered? Try to understand as I overstand, meditating in the palace, igniting with the aurora borealis, drinking from the carpenter's chalice. Knowledge found in the canals dug by the cults. A sucker wearing a necklace with a severed phallus. Had you not noticed the malice? Since when has optimism become ignorance? Since when has selfless become selfish? Anunnaki, I am the kami, I am the footprints on Mars, you'll never spot me. I am the ultimate translation of the tablets of Inki. I am the overseer of the overseen Akiki. I am the force walking you through the halls of Amenti. After this life ends, the next begins, unless you fail, in which case some sorrow extends. I walk from the promised lands of our ore, then I wash up upon Nibiru shores. The earth's ocean floor scarred from the first impacts. I learned the syntax of the first language given. I've risen along with my brethren in the lands of the forbidden. We built Eridu and returned to Abzu, thousands of years later, scaling the mountains of Machu Picchu in search of peace, in a land unstripped by the thought police. Now prepare for the planetary ascension, or as you were told, the pole shift. I'm in the mist, I lift the monolith in search of the ancient petroglyph. I stand over the masses, above me hovers a tablet, exposing the true fate of the planet. I am the Anunnaki, I am the kami, I am the footprints on Mars, you'll never spot me. I am the ultimate translation of the tablets of Inki. I am the overseer of the overseen Akiki. I am the force walking you through the halls of Amenti. I am the Anunnaki, I am the kami, I am the footprints on Mars, you'll never spot me. I am the ultimate translation of the tablets of Inki. I am the overseer of the overseen Akiki. I am the force walking you through the halls of Amenti.
What's left is alright.
Enjoy the high life in hindsight. Take a bike ride during the nighttime. Might find rhymes on the blind side. Get your mind right. Pack one hollow and unfollow the guidelines.
Have anything to say? I couldn't just tell myself. What's left is alright, alright, alright. Plug in your headphones, it's 5:09. What's left is alright, alright, alright. Plug in your headphones, it's 5:09. Who cares what they say? 'Cause we wake to the same day. I don't care what they say, 'cause we wake to the same day. Shouldn't care what they say, 'cause we wake to the same day. Fuck what they have to say, 'cause we wait for the same day. What's left is alright, alright, alright. Plug in your headphones, it's 5:09. What's left is alright, alright, alright. Plug in your headphones, it's 5:09.
lashback, a backtrack, a bright light, emerge from the blind sight. This is a chance to rewrite history, a propensity, a negative self-discovery, now possibly avoidable. I've heard words spoken, but instead of knowledge, I've heard babbling. To the ninth dimension I'll be traveling. Is this a test? I fear we do not possess a contest to save us from universal conquest. I've heard these words spoken instead of knowledge. I've heard babbling. To the ninth dimension I'll be traveling. I've heard these words spoken. I was immediately awoken into this metaphysical pinnacle in a cylindrical biosphere with a cynical outlook. Mutual feeling. I begin the self-healing in the land of the lost, recognizing our accomplishments are conducted at any cost, recognizing the science of breath that was replenished and left, the space was replaced, such as Seth after the fall of Abel, strangers in a stable, guided by the spacecraft led by Ethereans. I open my eyes, walking steady through the Serengeti, ready to articulate the information of the outer dimension. Tension of the mind elapses, bridges connecting these outer worlds collapses. Do not close your ears to true seas of falsities before the flood of the seven seas. Swarm of harpies and the global freeze, followed by the ultimate height of degrees and disease, forming into the ultimate decease of the biosphere. I appear as the unwashable handprint in the mirror. El Che brought forth as an indication the appearance of the Anunnaki is near.
Well, they followed it every day and it drove and it stopped over the birthplace of Jesus. That was a star, but it wasn't a star, not a real star. Stars don't work like that. Are set in the heavens, billions of miles away. That star, which Star of Bethlehem, it was a spacecraft sent by the spiritual hierarchy to guide the three wise men and act as a sign.
Rediscover the real fountain of youth and reveal a true shapes to go back to ancient Egypt 10,000 BC to help them build the pyramids with our future schematics to restart the human mathematical knowledge. And until we realize that deja vu is a window where we see our past lives, the cycle of life will continue and bring upon torture for mankind. We must correct our past mistakes and meditate so our forefathers won't destroy the ancient cities and the rivers of Babylon. We'll keep flowing to form a green earth full of healthy vegetation for 1 million years and finally leap through a portal designed into a flying piece of ice known as Haley to take us to our permanent home where there will only be one throne.
Is it a UFO? Well, in a sense it is a UFO, but it's a very specific one. It is the star and the first so-called crop circles, which have been created for years all over the world, but especially in south of England, are created by our space brothers from the other planets, mainly from the planets of Mars and Venus.
Had ancient humanoids since Pangea when there was only one hemisphere and Earth was assumed to be a flat piece of mass, grass, non-existence until a million years have passed, where radiation was uninvented. Only cells thrive to create creatures held by extraterrestrials with knowledge to evolve our society so we can live peacefully and have little to none suffering. But corruption and those wicked hearts torn apart have ruined our chances to be equal. But now we have been cursed and doomed to repeat our lives as a sequel, which is known as deja vu, and our bodies were designed to live for eternity. That's why we're always excluding death from our imagination, trying to substitute for reincarnation.
Raise your fists or slit your wrists and place your names on the modern day Schindler's List and let your mind slip as they place a microchip in your forearms and foreheads, far beyond minimal problems with the feds. World domination is a pursuit of the Bilderberg Group. The rebellion has a new recruit, ELCHE, a vivid dream displayed numeral 3 multiplied by 2, then added to 690, a breath of relief. Then quickly it's subtracted by 30. Around the number formed a cylindrical transformation and nurgle upon the crop circle. centuries alone. In the catacomb I bring forth global mutiny. No immunity, global community is blind. In these confines I remember the mind filled with gold. Explain is so. This was 295,000 years ago. Time is exact. Unlike Gregorian, I interact with 20,000 midichlorian. Is it the Agigi who see me or the Grigori? As I tell these epic stories, disbelief is spread through the unexplainable science. How do you intend covering up the Nephilim giants? My intention is to silence the tyrants. This disbelief shall be reversed. I once dispersed as a ray of light from the sun disk, now known as the obelisk. My presence was created from the highest transcendence to the essence of the ground. I'm now found in the farthest corners of the earth, but never earthbound. As I transform into vibrations in the air known as sound. I surround myself around takers of the truth and was crowned and buried beneath a mound of stones, intended to cave in the bones, unless I forfeit my belief. Reiterating these words until I'm unable to disperse. This universe was created from darkness that beat out light. As the words of the Amorites are nearly depleted, any actions towards truth have been retreated. This process covering up the truth will not be completed. Luciferian actions have proceeded, leading to their existence inevitably becoming deleted. This process shall be repeated, silencing those who insist on New World Order and the elitist. The ultimate reality resides inside without any entheogenic substance. My being was dispersed through the circumference of the 10th planet, then rampant through the galaxy. I originated during the Mesozoic and oversaw the heroic battles of the outer galactic starships. Forget power to the people, because people or power is equally evil, and I'm done with the corruption and all this evilness, as we are nearly completed with this pilgrimage to planet Earth, exposing subterranean life forms conspiring control over the norms of the world, leading to the impossibility of reaching the astral plane and redefining the sane, with intentions to fool spiritual hierarchy as if there was no one to blame, reconnecting the brain to block any form of consciousness or delay, without any existence other than to obey. These intentions would reach each seaboard. I see the Lord aboard the same ship as those who control every sector with a scepter. All-powerful interceptor versus a protector of universal prosperity. Ultimate longevity remains a blur due to short life expectancy. Therefore emerges theosophy, which possibly holds a piece of the answers sought by the travelers.
The fear of loss is a path to the dark side. Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Attachment leads to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
He left a message. Death is only the beginning.
declaration, and no cooperation as the nation's foundation is eroding. I'm decoding these subliminal messages encrypted by those that have taken oath and become satanic, causing panic on the planet. A being was created transcendental, praise the elemental. I rely on fundamental structure to retain my mental stability with the ability to see the flying saucers hover over Stonehenge and realize true sanity. Close my eyes and defy gravity, then return to humanity. Novus orders to clone the form of Big Brother undercover. I brought forth the storm within the eye, a projection of my last lifetime. A projection of my last lifetime where I remained grounded till I awoke and found myself surrounded by oppression and depression. Over 6 billion people are learning the lesson. I'm in the outer dimension, familiarizing myself with the Anunnaki invention to stand above the pond with only one reflection. As I'm transparent to these wise global centrists who will be stripped down in Siberia, left for the tempest. I haven't sent this ability to recognize reality. I find myself in a lucid dream, accompanied by the Elohim, guided by a light beam into the stargate. As the others wait, the conjunction is great. The state of mind is the fate of matter, overcoming hate, not up for debate. I incarnate in the 9th dimension as I meditate and create subtlety and anticipate and articulate. The set date is the beginning of the Aquarian, barbarian, Luciferian against the humanitarian, barbarian, Luciferian against the humanitarian. The reptilian transmutated and was instantly disintegrated. I follow the illuminated path, answers found in the map. I take a bath in a small pond and begin to see past lifetimes. A breeze, followed by the sound of chimes. The eyes closed, letting go of the force that binds. Sink in my head beneath the water for what seems to be hours. I sit up and feel no tension, ultimate comprehension achieved. I proceed to stand, however feels as if my feet are separated from land. I open my eyes and realize I'm separated from the body, beyond hallucinations I try to copy. I am embodied, I am here to see natural and unnatural disasters transpire, and realize the New World Order's attempt to acquire all power with hateful desire. Allow me to inquire before your limited attention span begins to expire. I've come from the pyramids of Giza and traveled through the Stargate to Chichen Itza. I recall Tikal in the midst of the Guatemalan jungle in search of the incorporeal Hunab, who I see through the trees of blue bean, leading me to the golden canoe down the stream. To a light being who led me to the 19th galaxy, through the mother plane Nibiru to Ilium, where I'm greeted and blessed by the Neteru, who spoke of the ventures around the solar system from the home planet Risk to the far east of Tiamat, where the inhabitants are ruled by reptilians in disguise, with silent replies to the cries of billions suffering from the lies. The cosmos ties us together, it feels like forever. However, I will not have to savor the moment, as I will return soon. In the womb of the moon, I am cocoon, lowered into a tomb till exhumed. I sent to the fume as soon as the lotus bloom. Then appeared at high noon in the middle of the saloon. I walked out and was greeted by a stowaway in a flying balloon. Thousands of feet above the ground, the face of a moon was formed in the clouds, and smiled I assume the appearance of the Elohim is here, no need to fear. Soon everything will be exposed, from the wicked mysticism of Catholicism to complete truth regarding the Bohemian Grove, rituals, pagan festivals. They attempt to silence with violence the currency. Certainly you remember in the lone storm I was born for foam. If you find yourself in a bright tunnel alone, no, it may not be the welcoming presence of the holy throne. So remember that all-powerful Bishop of Rome, taken to a higher elevation, operation at the space station vessel with the accommodation of premeditated destination to the promised lands, where the anticipation is the downfall of the Tomb Raider. Stand over the dunes reciting the ancient prayer, land of the soothsayer, to begin the practice of time travel, turning night to day. In the land of Uter Madre Setefenre, I pray on top of my altar straight from Gibraltar. Is your heart lighter than the feather, or should you be severed by a moose? These great stories told by Matt, as well as the opening of the Mount ceremony, as we walk the land of the Adobe into the distant horizon with the lion to Mount Zion.